Hi, my name is A.Stevens, and this is the Change Mentor podcast. And I have a brand new best friend that has everything I want. So, Jack, you want to tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yes, we do have quite a few things that a lot of people enjoy to have. So I run ACMEARMI. We are a very unique gun store here in Franklin, Tennessee, and we focus on the client. We focus on educating them and building out pretty awesome setups for just about anyone. And we can supply everything from standard pistols, customized pistols, suppressors, machine guns, transferable machine guns, as well as grenade launchers, registered destructive devices, all sorts of stuff. So we can build quite a bit of what people would love to have.
I look at it and I say, man, this is the place I want to go to spend my day because I know you have not only a lot of things to look at, but you have some experiences too that you can share with them too.
Yes, sir. So I probably got into guns when I was maybe about 7 years old. And I have been blessed with many opportunities to be with various collectors and uh, different designers from a young age. So I've worked with people like Chris Barrett that built the Barrett 50 cal, Chris Paulson that makes the DTV tactical M134 miniguns. I've gotten to
Wow.
work with Jim Sullivan, who worked very closely with Eugene Stoner, but he developed the Ultimax machine gun. And I've been with other guys that have made huge collections of machine guns. So I've been really deep into the gun space since I was a very young guy. And then I've shot with all these collectors. And then I went to military high school, military college, and then went into the military itself. So a lot of experience there. I spent 12 years in the Tennessee Army National Guard as an infantryman, and the last 5 years of that I spent in a sniper section. I have to always clarify, I never actually got to go to sniper school because we never had the funding for it, but I spent enough time in the sniper section that I learned all the field craft and I pretty much learned everything. So,
Very good.
um,
I'm going to take you back to 7 years old because that may shock a lot
yeah,
of people. So being in Tennessee and growing up with a farm, I kind of lived half my life in Holiday Inns and the other half on the farm at the same time because my dad was a Holiday Inn innkeeper, but we had a
okay.
farm, and so on weekends he kept me at work during the week, but on weekends I never got to watch cartoons, right? Because I had to go get up real early, drive 30 minutes away to a farm and start fencing or something. So people maybe outside of that area of experience they may not understand a 7-year old being near firearms. I think I had my first pistol, 357 Magnum, at 16, and I probably had my first 22 at 13, which was a lot older than you. So you beat me by at least 6 years. And so so explain a little bit of that.
Yeah, so I remember the first firearm I ever shot. We were out at my grandfather's farm, and it was a Sears and Roebuck bolt action 16 gauge shotgun. And he was very much so expecting me to get knocked on my butt with it. And I actually shot it pretty well. I stood firm in position. Um, so he was kind of one of those old heads that was like, "Oh, you think you want to be a gun guy here? Let's see
This
what you really think." And from that first shot, I was kind of hooked after that. Now, I did not get my own gun until I was about 16 years old or so,
Yeah.
but I had the opportunity to go out and shoot with different friends who were collectors. Their dads were collectors, and got to shoot with them. But being so young and learning and being around firearms really taught, kind of instilled a respect for firearms for me. I understood they were not toys; they were something that is dangerous and needs to be well respected. So I've kind of taken that into my education of firearms with other individuals.
I know that your website is under construction because you have so many things on it, but that's kind of how we met a little bit when I went through just the look of it. But give us a kind of a picture of the range. You kind of did at the beginning, but break it down so that we understand.
The website kind of does show a good amount of what we carry. We are very different from most other gun stores where we focus solely on more the high-end tactical. There's a lot of generic stuff out there, which is fine and works for some people, but there are some people that want to invest into a little bit higher quality items. So you can walk in here off the street, not knowing much, but want to be decked out like a Navy SEAL, and I can essentially walk you through it. So I've got everything from Title I firearms, which is any semi-automatic that's not registered. So any AR-15, 16-inch rifle, any handgun, semi-automatic. I can kit you out with kind of the standard basic stuff there. I work with a company called Defiant Machine Works. So if you want custom Cerakote done, so different camouflage patterns on your pistols or on your rifles, I can send it off to them. They can do custom colorings to it, and we can add suppressors. So a suppressor is a lot of people know it as a suppressor or a silencer. It just goes onto the end of any rifle or pistol and basically quiets it down a little bit. You'll see a lot of Hollywood shows that show suppressors as making something absolutely quiet to where you can't hear it. That is so far from the truth. Most of them bring it down to about 130 decibels, which is pretty similar to an electric circular saw, which is not quiet, but it reduces a lot of the blast that's coming out of the barrel. It reduces a lot of the sound. We go through all the paperwork in here. So to get an NFA item like that, requires fingerprints, and I can take fingerprints in here. It requires a passport style photo, so we take a photo of you as well, and then we do what's called an ATF Form 4 and send that off. Essentially, that is registering the item to you as an individual. We send that off, and there's usually around a 7 to 10 business day waiting period until you're approved, and then you can come back to the store and pick it up and take it home with you. But that is an actual registered item. There's different categories of NFA items. So you have suppressors, silencers, you have AOWs, which is any other weapon. They're a really weird category, and I've got a shotgun in here that has about a 7-inch barrel and a pistol grip on the back end of it, and that's classified as an AOW. There's short-barreled rifles, which is any semi-automatic rifle or bolt-action rifle, any rifle with a barrel length less than 16 inches with a stock on the end of it. So we can do those in here as well. We can do short-barreled shotguns, which is any shotgun with a stock with a barrel length less than 18 inches. And then we can do destructive devices, which is a favorite category of mine. That is the grenade launchers, rocket launchers, mortars. Destructive devices is a very, very broad category. Essentially, it is any firearm with a bore diameter over a 1/2 inch. Wow. So 50 cal, like a 50 BMG, is the upper length of what you can get before it's a registered item. Anything over that, technically, the ATF says does not have sporting purposes, so it's a registered destructive device. And then we can do transferable machine guns in here. So that's anything that's fully automatic that was built and registered before 1986. Those, I have a lot of clients that come in here that want a good investment piece, and those are perfect for it. So you can buy a Colt M16 for $40,000 now. Sit there, shoot it, enjoy it, play with it, dump tons and tons of rounds through it. You have a machine gun that's registered with the ATF. It's one of very few. A few years later, you can turn around and sell it for, you bought it for 40,000, turn around and sell it for 45,000. So you can actually make your money off of buying and selling these transferable machine guns. Wow. We also do helmet setups in here with night vision. I've also got thermal optics in here as well. So if you're doing nighttime shooting, going after coyotes, going after like raccoons and varmints in your yard, we can do the night vision or thermal for you. We do have body armor, and we do have plate carriers as well. So that's like the chest rigs that you'll see military guys running around with. Those, some people think that body armor is restricted for civilians. It's perfectly legal. You're allowed to own it, and we'll sell it to you.
Yeah. And there's also all kinds of new technology coming out in body armor too, I understand. You get us a little rundown on maybe where we are and where we've been and what the future looks like for the body armor?
Yeah, so there's a little bit going on with body armor. Most of the R&D stuff is going towards the military side, but for civilians, most of the biggest argument recently has been ceramic body armor, which is kind of the standard go-to, versus steel plate, which there's been a lot of controversy around that kind of argument. Steel plate is much heavier, but it will withstand more rounds. The issue with steel plate is you have what's called spalling. So when a round impacts a steel plate, the round has to disappear somewhere. those shards have to go somewhere, and essentially it flattens out when it hits the plate, and then those sharp metal pieces are directed 90 degrees from that metal plate, and will usually end up either going up underneath the chin and impacting the cranial area, and can go all the way up to your brain, which is not where metal pieces belong, or it can go out into other extremities like the arms and whatnot. um, some companies have made coatings that go over it that are supposed to reduce that, but it's not to the point where it is 100% effective. Ceramic plates is typically what's issued to the military and law enforcement agencies. It doesn't withstand as many rounds in a single spot. Um, but if you're in a situation where you're running around and you're getting shot in the body armor, they're not going to hit the exact same spot every single time. So generally, you're good. Um, that's kind of been the big thing with body armor at the moment.
Cool. And I noticed you mentioned helmets and all the things you can put on the helmets. That sounds amazing. I mean, it sounds like that would be fun for nighttime hiking. Yeah,
I have done quite a bit of hiking and kayaking with night vision goggles on, so that's probably where I'll use them the most.
yeah.
I've had a lot of farmers that will use it for coyote hunting at nighttime. So if they've got a pack of coyotes that's been harassing their animals at night, it's great. The coyotes don't know they're there. There's no light that's being emitted or anything, and you can take out a pack of coyotes pretty easily with night vision goggles on. Thermal is absolutely fantastic for that as well. I probably have a lot more guys that are doing varmint hunting and predator hunting with thermal instead. But it's fantastic because there's no light being emitted and you can see everything in the dark. It's great for varmint and protecting livestock.
Very good. Yeah. And I see a picture of scopes. I bet you have some pretty cool scopes.
So kind of the bread and butter of what we do is we'll take a rifle off the wall. I'll sit it on a vise, and then I've got different cabinets by different categories, and we can go through and we can put red dot optics on there. So if you need an optic on your rifle, everyone does. Depending on how far you shoot, we'll go to either red dots or actual scopes themselves. I kind of specialize in more of the medium range and close quarter stuff. So most of my scopes max out at about 12 or 18 power magnification. But for most people, you can get out to 600 yards with something like that, 800 yards if you're a fairly good shooter and know how your round drops at distance. So we carry some more of the high end brands, Leupold, Vortex, Night Force. Probably need to stock up a little bit more on some Night Force. I've had a lot of people buy those recently, but I love Leupold optics. I've got a ton of them on some personal rifles that are in here. But yeah, we've got some very nice optics in here.
I still can't get over the mortars and the rocket launchers and stuff like that. So,
So
what kind of person comes in and buys a mortar and a rocket launcher? What are they looking to do?
those are more unique individuals. I would probably say they're a little bit on the weird side because I am one of those people that gets all the rocket launchers and the mortars. Not many people purchase those. Those are more investment pieces, just kind of something to throw in the collection to turn some heads when they go to the range. I know every time that I take my RPG out to the range, I get quite a few looks and a lot of people asking to shoot it as well.
You
But kind of
say,
leading into
sure,
that,
it's $100 a shot, or whatever.
it's about $500
Yeah,
around
that's what I was thinking.
for the actual rockets.
Shoot.
But kind of leading into that, that's one of the things that drove me to do our rental wall. So we've got, because we are an FFL, a federal firearms license, and an SOT. We have special licensing to be able to produce our own machine guns here in the store. I can't sell them to individuals because they're made after 1986, but I can let people enjoy what a machine gun is. So we have firearms in here that are converted into machine guns. And if you want to schedule an event with us, once our range in Jolton is complete, you can come out for a bachelor party, birthday party, corporate party, party just for a Friday's sake. And you can rent all sorts of machine guns. You can rent, we have an M2 60 millimeter mortar that you can shoot. We've got an M203 grenade launcher you can shoot. My RPG is on the wall as well. And then we've got bell feds like the 249. I've got an M240 Bravo. We do have an M107 50 cal that you can shoot. So you can have an absolute blast shooting all of these machine guns and enjoying some of the freedom of the great United States here. So the rental wall has been a very big draw for a lot of people. So once we have that range complete, we have a lot of people that already are looking to book events with us. For Europeans, it's pretty hard to comprehend the level of gun ownership in the United States.
That is amazing, and you'll take your new best buddy Craig with you too, and so
oh yeah, come on out.
Craig's going to start filling out applications for any job openings you have. That's how interested Craig is.
Well, unfortunately, right now I've had a lot of people ask about if I'm hiring. As of right now, I am just a one-man shop.
Yeah.
So everyone that comes through here gets the exact same level of service. It is just me in here. I treat everyone the exact same, and you know every time you're walking through the door who you're walking into.
We haven't told people how to get a hold of you, and we haven't told people how to find you, and we haven't told people, if they need to make a reservation or not. So how about we go over some of those things, because I think that's the next thing people want to do is say, how do I get a hold of Jack?
So yeah, we are fairly hidden away, and we do that for a very specific reason. There's a lot of anonymity with the people that are coming in here. So I've got a lot of country music stars that have come through here, and we don't want people, seeing them walking in and out of a big storefront. So we are actually hidden away in an office building here in Cool Springs. I'm across the parking lot from the D1 gym, just behind the mall. You can go to our website. It's just ACMEARMI. Army with an I, so ACMEARMI.com. And there's a place on there where you can book a appointment. Typically, I work best by appointment, so everyone gets that one-on-one experience. If I don't have any clients in the shop at the moment and someone walks up to the door and knocks, if I don't have anyone, I'll let them in. But if I do have clients coming in soon, I'll have to usher them out before the next client. So definitely book an appointment first. Or you can give me a call. 629-217-0401 is the phone number.
Would you want people to know what the address is so they knock on the door, or would you rather them just call you and then you'll tell them address?
We do show up on Google, so our address is on Google. It's 7105 South Springs Drive. But we don't tell people the suite number until they book an appointment.
Oh, gotcha. And what town is that in? What community?
Franklin, Tennessee.
Franklin,
Yeah.
Tennessee. Think about that one-on-one contact you have with people, and it's very private. So someone doesn't have pictures of someone with unique firearms, especially if it might hurt their tour.
So yes, I have had a lot of famous people come in here that really don't want people to know that they're buying firearms and collecting stuff. So I did have a country music star come in here recently, and he asked, do I need him to bring in a picture of him so he can sign it and put it on the wall? And I said, no, absolutely not. We don't want anyone knowing that you're coming in here. Everything is pretty low key, and we're not trying to advertise who comes in here. I know a lot of places around Nashville and Franklin kind of do that to show what famous people are in their place. I'm not doing any of that.
Yeah.
And kind of that one-on-one really stemmed from, I used to work at a big gun store. There's a generic gun store, and we sold a bunch of okay quality stuff and some higher quality stuff, but I just never was able to help someone one-on-one because we had so many people that we were trying to help. So this is more about the education, about building out your rifle, kind of what works for your application and what doesn't. Um, I subscribe to the theory of buy once, cry once. It's better to go ahead and spend more money on a higher quality item up front rather than buying a lesser quality item, finding out it doesn't work for you, trying to sell it on the used market, taking a loss, and then trying to find the next item that you want to buy. It's an awful pain. And I tried to do that education when I worked at a generic store, and we just didn't have the quality inventory that I was looking for that. So that's what kind of led me into the space that I'm in now. So everyone gets that one-on-one. I almost do an interview with each client. Tell me, what sort of shooting you do, what's your shooting style, uh, any particular type of firearms that you like to collect. Are you, in the city? Are you out in the country? That's going to kind of dictate what sort of a firearm we're going to build out for you. So I want to make sure that everything is built out for that individual rather than a generic solution for hopefully works for everyone.
And what I really like about that, Jack, is that your humility in the whole process. You're really there for the customer instead of yourself. You're not taking advantage of people in a way that might embarrass them. It's kind of embarrasses me though, because I'm sure my firearms are way down the list. So I don't even want to tell you what I have, but so
Hey, I love to tell everyone I started from knowing absolutely nothing and what I would consider the dumb questions. And all the time I have to reel myself back. I will answer any question, no matter how basic it may be. That is new information to anyone. So feel free to ask what you think might be the stupid question. I had to ask the stupid question when I was young, and that's how I got this information.
yeah,
Um, there's a lot of people that like to gatekeep information and use the if you know, you know, and never tell any more information. It's gatekeeping that doesn't help build the community. I love to share what I've learned. I'm just a dude who had great opportunities. Let me share that information with my clients.
great. So Jack, how about you leave with uh, restating your full name, your address, and your phone number, and any words of advice that you want to give to people.
So I am Jack Bouchard. I run Acme Army here in Franklin, Tennessee at 7105 South Springs Drive in Cool Springs in Franklin, Tennessee. And you can reach me at jack at acmearmy.com is the email. Acmearmy.com is the website. And then our phone number is 629 217 0401.
And you'll find an expert with humility.
Well, thank you very much. I do my best to share what information I've learned over the years.
Thank you.